First, my sincere apology for being late. Was handling traffic, largely unusual in Delhi, but I think it happened. So to the organizers, I think my apologies for being late for the conversation. My fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen, financial inclusion has been talked about. I must, I think, first congratulate on behalf of all of us, the Ministry of Finance and especially Anurag, I think, who will be the mission director, for doing such a remarkable job of creating 1.2 crore. Very hardworking, sincere, and he's also a role model of what we actually extended in terms of Common Service Center. I don't know how many of you know he was the one who started using Common Service Centers as a business correspondent in Madhya Pradesh when he used to be secretary to Chief Minister and secretary IT in the state. And learning from that, we got a long way. We started something of this nature, using Common Service Centers for the purpose of doing financial inclusion services across India, mainly in rural India. Why Common Service Centers, why not others? See, our main brand value which we sell that why Common Service Centers is Common Service Centers are under part of the Government of India scheme, the national governance plans. They are managed, run and operated by a person who belongs to the same village, to the same community. And he's, in addition to doing government and citizen services, he also delivers large number of business services. So there are, see what is called in banking parlance, the trust factor. The whole concept of bank actually believes on trust, because I know if you see the annual report of any bank, the first page will have a large building, a huge massive building on the front page, and that creates trust. The large building creates trust, and the trust, the Common Service Centers operating in the business correspondent actually create the trust in the community and trust with people who are going to deal with that. And that is how Common Service Centers, an alternative to deliver business correspondent or become business correspondent, appears to be better as compared to any other alternative mode. So far, we have about 15,000 Common Service Centers which are working, about 16,000, little more than 15,000, which work with business correspondent across the country. Use very simple technology. Our engagement of business correspondent to the bank or to the bank is without any cost. Just a biometric device which costs 3,000 rupees, because that's the infrastructure you already have. That means you can actually make a business correspondent of a bank by investing in 3,000 rupees extra, because you already have all other beverages. And that is the reason by saying the large number of studies have shown that the business correspondent which started earlier, 50% of them wound up, largely because it's unviable. It is true, in rural India, business correspondent is standalone proposition, not a viable method, not a viable proposition. It is not possible to make it viable, because rural India is totally different. You see business correspondent in rural India, the transaction takes place in a day only about 4 to 5, in a market day about 100. That is how rural India. You cannot, in any imagination, make in such a scenario a business correspondent real commercial viable standalone model. And therefore, CAC fits in very well, because he does many of the activities as an added value. He makes great sense, makes greater sense for him to establish far more credibility, despite being part of the government system and also doing the financial inclusion services. As I said, we've done about 1 crore account, 1 crore transaction of worth about 100 crore rupees. As I said, the technology is the kiosk technology. That's good, thanks to the ministry, which actually excited the banks, all the public sector banks, in order to use kiosk technology for rural India, which is simple, easy, accessible, and very low cost. As I said, in 3,000 rupees you become a BC. And that kiosk technology, let me also assure you, in 15,000 of the BC so far, with such large number of transactions, we haven't got a single fraud reported. That's why this is one of the best in terms of the top, and in banking industry, you know how many, say about 600, 700 crore fraud take place every year. That's the general figure. That means our system of Common Service Center working at PCE at least appears to be fraud-prone, because it's not fraud, using the simple technology, easily accessible, and a far more sustainable model with credible structures for acceptable income. That's what they say, Common Service Centers and alternative looks better. As I said, what are the problems and issues? Now, why all 1 lakh 40? We have got 1,40,000 common service. Why all of them have not become BC? Because having worked in the banking division, Ministry of Finance for a long time, I knew assigning agreement does not solve the problem. That is only beginning of the problem. And that's why our struggle with the banks, our ability to convince the banks and take them around and resolve the issues which are the field level implementation. What are the issues which comes through? Many of the banks, largely, with due respect to them, has taken this like a target given to them. They say that initially they started with 2,000 population, 5,000 population branches, then 2,000 population branches, then something called SSA. It's so confusing, it's so difficult to work out why do they want. They are not taking this as a business. Do they understand that the bottom of the pyramid has actually business opportunity? Only 2 banks, I must name them. I think of course one of the third which now started looking at it. State Bank of India is the only bank which has taken business correspondent as a business. And I must thank the State Bank team. The second, the Bank of Baroda, and third now the Punjab National Bank has started looking at not as a target, but they're looking at this as a business. Unless the bank brings this part of the program into their own business, own balance sheet, and separately show and reflect and saying what is the value, it is not going to sustain it because it has never happened. I was just showing the recent report which said that 25% of the total account in India are actually operating out of the 48% which people have. That means inoperative accounts does not make any sense. You can actually open an account, but you can't create value proposition. The idea is to create an access point for delivering services. And you must understand, the bank need to at least get this into their value proposition, that this is a business opportunity for them to do it. I was told the State Bank of India that last year they raised 22,000 crore to the business generated only through business correspondent. And they are also breaking, they got a net profit generated out of BC. The growth in last 3 years in the State Bank of India in the BC model has been so phenomenal that it's never been any other sector within the banking community. I do appreciate that this is only liability side of the balance sheet. But you can actually use the liabilities of the banks to encash on the asset creation because it's not in part. Unless you get into the business part of the whole ecosystem, you will not be able to try and cash the opportunity. 70% of the population, large network, has now money to sell and buy goods. This needs to be exploited. Bank in the traditional approach will never be able to do it. So far after independence, which I quote, I think there's 60,000 branches out of only 25,000 is in rural India. We have 250,000 panchayats. But how many years going to take in the traditional way? Thanks to again the ministry's initiative. See, you may not like it, but I think in India, having worked for such a long time, government supply model do work. Demand model does not work in government. It does not work. It does not really serve. Ideally, it should be demand driven, but in the context on which we work and how we develop, our whole common service center scheme was built on a supply driven model. People were laughing when we started launching this program across the country, saying that there's no connectivity, there is no G2C services, why are you guys wasting time in setting up common service center? We struggled from 2008, but today it's so vibrant, it's unbelievably good. We created rural enterprise and entrepreneurship. There are people in rural India who are very well educated and doing a business. Sometimes about 8 people turnover 8 lakh. There are guys who got 50 lakh turnover and still do business in rural India. There's a chap who's an IIT, Mumbai guy, and set up a common service center in Parvada in Visakhapatnam. So the vibrancy came, but it came largely because we pushed through the supply model. And you see, there were criticism continued to be in a supply model sustainability, but Indian context, Indian hierarchy, and Indian bureaucracy learned the lesson that supply-driven model sometimes has to achieve the largest socio-political gains. And that's how the model of BC as a community. For me, the BC supply-driven model can continue. If we can address some of the issues, it can be a great game changer. In fact, the whole objective should be every panchayat, I mean there are 250,000, that's the lowest administrative unit, should have actually a business corporate because bank will not be able to open a branch. Even if they open a branch, they will not be able to put a person. No branch manager, with due respect to them, will like to go on a rural area and work. Because the whole system of recruitment is different. And therefore, you need to create an alternative. An alternative is to create a business corporate model which is run, managed and operated by a person who belongs to the same community and lives in the same village. That is the alternative. Common service centers actually create the platform for people to do it. Our phase 2 of the program, which is likely to be approved with the cabinet, actually talks about setting up one in rural India. We know the constraint, as I said, we know the constraints of connectivity, but our people are so genuine, so good, used to the local conditions that they actually build out models of creating connectivity. We have about 10,000 centers who work on VSAT, there are centers who work on dongle, there are centers who work on WiMAX, and there are centers who work on PSL normal connectivity and also other connectivity. So the people, leave it to the wisdom of the people. When he thinks this is a business, he'll find a way how to deal with the issue. And rural India today is capable of dealing with issues. They have struggled all their life, they are able to struggle even today to work out a solution. Fortunately, the 250,000 panchayats will get connected by NOFM. The target which the ministry has fixed is by March 2015, 1 lakh panchayats will get an NOFM connectivity. That's about 2 Mbps connected in every panchayat, and 2 Mbps connectivity in panchayat at a cost which is so good, which has been negotiated for our common service center, is 400 rupees a month, which is fantastic. I told this gentleman who was the MP, I told him, you will do a great service to this country if you can give him 400 rupees with 2 Mbps connectivity in rural India. Rural India face will change. And they agreed. So that's going to be the issues of connectivity. There's some issues on power, will continue. There's some issues on capacity building of the village level, which is our job, which we do through our intermediaries and our support system, and then try and take it forward. As I said, why 15,000 or why not? The issues which are there, one of course I mentioned the banks, at every level must realize this is a business. We have failed to convince the bank. The senior level management is very good, they're excited about it, they want to use it. The branch manager does not want to do it. He still does not have imbibed the value in the culture that BC is part of his business. Maybe their transfer pricing policy, maybe because some branch managers saying that don't open more account because every account you open you actually pay 20 rupees. So he says my cost will go up and my branch will come to a loss. So maybe they look into the transfer pricing policy for branch assessment so that he doesn't get actually be carried by a short-term initiative of branch losing or branch making a loss and then later on maybe. There are field level issues, there are phenomenal issues. I think with the number of bank account openings, some of the bank server went down and now it's taking even State Bank. I was talking to the madam saying that State Bank server is now creating serious issues. After the version 2 was launched, there are serious field level problems that people in rural India get frustrated also. And ideally, because if you're going to make somebody to open an account for 2 hours, he gets frustrated because technology should be that he gets fast. So I request you to try and resolve these technological issues. Basically with the technical service providers in order to resolve that they become seamlessly accessible to rural India in a manner which is conducive to deal with them and which enterprise entrepreneurs can expect and get the opportunity. There is a lot to be done with many banks. Many banks have still not adopted the kiosk technology in a manner which is so conducive to them. Kiosk technology stabilization is taking time. Many banks have to increase the server strength, had to make it seamlessly accessible. But I think it's a good way to do. I will request the bankers because we are actually professionally bankers. They need to learn how to deal with the technology guys. They're very difficult nuts. Very difficult guys in technology. So you need to learn the lesson of trying the best out of the guy and try and change it. Some more changes. I am also again thankful to the ministry. We have been talking this with the application form for opening an account used to be 3 pages and we used to sign 3 places without knowing what you are doing it. Actually now we change to 1 page. Thanks Anik to the ministry initiative. It's just unbelievably good. In one of the banks we tried through eKYC. It's a cooperative bank, and the public sector banks still have their own way of doing things. It's a cooperative bank in Jharkhand where you can get a bank account opened without a piece of paper in less than a minute. But it's possible. That means technology, while cooperative bank also work on the CDS, it also work on a core banking solution. But it's a proprietary core banking solution. Your core banking solutions are different. You still have to change your guys' mindset. The technology provider that it's possible to create an account, state away number and give it to you. Don't give passbooks. Don't waste papers. No passbooks are required. If you want signature, you can incorporate signature. Some MD of a bank told me I need signatures also because your thumb impression, the UID data does not give me signature. I said you can add a signature pack along with it and give me 3 signatures to you. You want anything to be done, it's possible to create system. It is easy. As I said, we also done the insurance company the same thing. We can create, we actually first launched in Hyderabad through IRDA intervention and we did an insurance policy document without a piece of paper in 3 minutes time. Given to the person and he goes home. Everything was done. And no movement of piece of paper either from the operator side or from the insurance company side. That is what is required. Our mindset has changed, our behavior pattern. Opening an account, why do you ask me whether you have a TV, I have a balance, or I have so-and-so material? What are you going to do with that material? In any case, that's only for the credit lending. In any case, you don't use the data. For credit appraisal, you will use a different data. You will not use the data which is put in the form. Change all those forms. It is required. What is called restrictive creation is what the need for our. If you can do restrictive creation, and then you can actually simplify life. Our whole objective in Common Service Centers is to simplify life for people. Create enterprise and entrepreneurship in rural India. Make it so vibrant that people don't have to go to government offices or go to banks and then avail services. That's a dream come true. Our only one of the things which banks does is the SSA. I struggled to find out why this SSA. I have not been able to find out the answer. Because in the same district, there are 26 banks trying to do it. 2 I will do, 2 you will do, 2 you will do. Why all this there? Why this SLBC? I used to be finance secretary of the state, and I used to tell them SLBCs are totally useless. SLBCs are actually meant for bankers to come together and tell you why it cannot be done. They will never tell you how it can be done. That is what it is. SLBC and DLCC are laws is relevant. They have been district by state. I've been a finance secretary. I've dealt with them. At that time I used to get frustrated. Now I get more frustrated because they're meaningless. It does not make any sense to have SLBC. It does not make any sense to DLCC because they cannot do anything except create obstacles. What is required to be done? See, simply we were only requesting the finance ministry also. See, in each district you have a lead bank. Ask the lead bank to set up one in every panchayat. A BC, make it interoperable. It is going to be life simple. See, look at my life. Suppose I have to deal with, in the same district, if I have to deal with 20 banks in every district, how many resources? It's going to be hell for us and also not commercially viable for us. It's impossible for us to deal with that kind of scenario when you're going to create. If you do lead, there are 650 districts divided into 30 banks, give them 20 districts to each of them and ask them to set up. They can also put the resources in their team. They can do financial literacy, they can put the technical guy, they can do all the support system and create a front end which is interoperable. That is the objective. If the front end is not interoperable, it is still not going to be a viable proposition. It has to be interoperable. That means it's going to operate for all that. Some people come and say, but what has happened? My branch is not there. See, I can give only example of State Bank of India because I like them so much because they're actually so good. They don't bother about all this. State Bank is the only bank who never bothered with SSS because they think this is a business. What they've done is one state, all the common service centers they're not even the lead bank, are done by SBI, or BC of SBI. They done phenomenally well, and the distance between the branch and the BC is 200 kilometers. We don't need to be close to a branch. Nobody said you have to be BC has to be close to a branch. Who told this 15 kilometer or 35 kilometer distance linkages? I don't have to go to a branch at all. Technology does not allow me to actually have access to branch. I can do everything possible through any branch which is close by to me. I can just operate a cooperative bank, transfer the money to a settlement. Your systems are closed because you do a prepaid system. You don't allow a transaction. Otherwise to happen. And that's how you control the settlement account. Why do you insist on a branch close to a BC, a branch supervision to a BC? Does not make sense. Remotely control everything and do supervision. It is far more meaningful. So my submission, my request also to the banks to look into it, also the finance ministry, which we will keep on telling them and keep on requesting them. Make life easy. Appoint a lead bank to appoint all the front offices or front ends in that district only operated by that bank. It will make life so comfortable, it will make the whole model very sustainable, because we also done financial literacy for both Department of Company Affairs and Department of History Education Program, and did something for NABARD, as in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, 2 states. And we didn't realize the bank's model of financial literacy is also the classroom model. See, they have a block at district level. The village women will never come to the classroom. That's a different. Why do you want to create a system that teaches the village women? That means you don't teach the women at all. You don't cover the children at all. That means the model of financial literacy has also to be driven to the same BC model. And we have shown it to you. NABARD is very happy they did independent evaluation and they find it far more effective than compared to classroom model. See, easy to create classroom models for financial literacy difficult to implement. Nobody will come. Your objective will get defeated with the financial literacy has to go through the VC and using a technology model of doing it. As I said, we have done already for Ministry of Company Affairs and in NABARD partners. So just to repeat and close, our request is that kindly look at the SSA approach, kindly look at the role of SLBC, BCC, trying, working out, find commercially, financially sustainable VC model, and also with the request of the bank, kindly look at the VC as part of the business and not part of the target. I think then only the whole things will change and there'll be phenomenal imprint of what all of us want to do this country and make it a vibrant society, including all the financial inclusion services, both insurance and banking. Thank you very much for giving this.